Guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, especially if you love MMA as much as I do. Okay, this fight's happening on ABC tomorrow. Robert Whittaker versus Ikram. I'm not even going to try to say his last name. A Russian fighter, a really good fighter. He's been knocked out by Khamzat before, but that was years ago. And I watched that Khamzat fight. Look, before I even talk about this fight, I do want to say anybody could have been caught like that, okay? So yeah, Khamzat did beat him, but that guy could have knocked out Khamzat too, okay? I've seen him fight since that fight. He has had some heavy hands. He has some great grappling skills, and unlike Khamzat, he might not get tired after a round or two. So these two might fight again after this fight if he beats Whittaker. Now let's talk about how Robert Whittaker beats this guy. Whittaker, as we all know, he can be very tough to touch up, unless you're Israel Adesanya and apparently Dricus du Plessis. He likes to jump in a lot and jump out a lot, and he can be very tough to predict. He's going to need some of that. He might need to switch that up a little bit just because of the heavy hands that Ikram has. And Ikram doesn't have anything to lose. He's not even ranked, I don't think, is he? So that makes him very dangerous. If he were to beat a top 10 middleweight, a top 5 middleweight, a former world champion, that should propel him somewhere in the top 10. Okay? Because he's technically undefeated in the UFC. And he's a killer. You know, I love watching this guy fight. I've seen a lot of his highlights. I watched some of his fights before the UFC, including his Khamzat fight that I talked about. For Whittaker, he does need a blitz in and out. He needs to be okay with not being too aggressive in this fight and making Ikram fight his fight. And he needs to keep this fight standing. I know Whittaker is well-versed as a fighter, but he doesn't need to get into a grappling match with this guy. Because this guy can clearly take people down and throw people around. He can submit guys. And even when he's standing, he can win this fight. So Whittaker's best chances are to outstrike him on the feet and keep it technical. Do not get into a brawl with this dude. Don't be stationary. Be mobile like you always are. And he should be fine. Do I think he can do that for 5 rounds? I don't know. I'll do that for the prediction video. But for Robert Whittaker to win this fight, he needs to mix up the leg kicks. He doesn't need to do anything too fancy. You might need to mix it up later in the fight with body kicks and some jabs like he likes to do. 1, 2, 3 combos and mix it up. Don't be too predictable, because if he's too predictable, that's how you get clipped and put away in MMA. MMA rhymes. But yeah, if he wins this fight, it'll be a decision.